A gallery assistant poses next to an artwork entitled Michael Jackson by U.S. artist Andy Warhol, on display during a photo call. Photo, Getty Judah 1 hour Saturday, June 30, 2018. Some great writing has bubbled up in advance of the National Portrait Gallery's exhibition Michael Jackson, on the Wall. Honest, personal, confessional, non-hagiographic, it suggests that 9 years after his death, we're ready to start picking through the glory and tragedy, pride and horror, magic and deep sadness, all bundled into the public readings and response to this extraordinary artist. Frieze magazine, Sonia Dyer writes of the empathy, disgust and profound feeling of sadness that arose after gorging on Jackson's Stranger in Moscow 1996 video, which presents the artist as a portrait of despair, a plaintive victim at his most forlorn, the promise of death, or worse, the lifelong agony of the unfairly persecuted, looms around every corner. Zadie Smith, in the exhibition's catalogue, recalls Jackson's metamorphosis from idol into a traumatic figure. Visitors pose for a picture next to an artwork entitled The King of Pop C by U.S. artist Mark Ryden, on display during a photo call to promote the exhibition Michael Jackson, on the Wall. Photo, Getty. The beautiful child with the precocious talent chiseling, bleaching and erasing himself as his fame ascended to the point, already in 1991, where it was as if the schizophrenic, self-hating, hypocritical and violent history of race in America has incarnated itself in a single man. Pale and male. This week, the National Portrait Gallery invited a handful of newspaper critics for a preview snoop. Seldom has this wing of the British art establishment looked quite so uniformly pale and male, in itself an indication of the broader context of an NPG show dedicated to an African-American celebrity, featuring a significant proportion of works by prominent artists of color. Jackson, his work, life and legacy, provides abundant material for exploration. While undoubtedly a crowd-pleaser, an exhibition addressing Jackson as a global cultural phenomenon shouldn't be an artistic compromise. There is ground for staging a witty, affectionate and intelligent exhibition that does not shy from engagement with darkness and apparent contradictions. David LaChapelle's An Illuminating Path, 1998, on display at a press preview of Michael Jackson, on the Wall exhibition at the National Portrait Gallery in London. Photo, PA wire installation was still underway, so I may not have had the full crystal-gloved experience, but Michael Jackson, on the Wall is not that exhibition. Dedicated to artworks inspired by Jackson, the show seems thin and overstretched. There are works, among them a Maggie Hambling portrait that looks like someone skidded in cake icing, and another by Mr. Brainwash, the hype artist, featured in Banksy's Exit Through the Gift Shop, here, apparently, on no other merit other than their inclusion of Jackson's image. Act of erasure. The show is best where less literal. David Hammond's Which Mic Do You Want to Be Like? 2001 offers a trio of microphones arranged at heights for Michaels, Jackson, Tyson and Jordan, suggesting the limited archetypes of success available to young African-American men. In Apicu Jr. Boki Adams, PYT, 2009, a pair of penny loafers is suspended on the tips by helium balloons, an allusion to Jackson's apparent ability to defy gravity. A gallery assistant poses next to an artwork entitled Equestrian Portrait of King Philip II, Michael Jackson, by U.S. artist Kehinde Wiley. Photo, Getty. Nyedeka Akanyele Crosby's As We See You, Dreams of Jan, 2017, suggests the permeation of Jackson into Nigerian music culture, and the presence, at one remove, of his image and music in places otherwise relatively cut off from American culture. These are highlights in a show that otherwise seems to perform its own act of erasure. While Jackson's later bone-white, skeletal face gazes from one or two of the works here, the show overall lacks the passionate, troubled and nuanced engagement found in the discourse taking place elsewhere. Netflix lands Michael Jackson's Pet Shrimp Bubbles animated movie Art Buff, What It's Like to Be Drawn in the Nude, How Sussex Fostered a Modernist Art Revolution in News, https://innews.co.uk